In this segment, we're going to talk about the rank system that I use at Richland County Middle School. The rank system is a series of pass-off points that the students have to pass off in order to progress through the curriculum. There are 10 ranks. Each rank is divided up into 10 points. Within the ranks, we have points out of the Essential Elements books, and we also have scales that have to be played from memory. We have vocabulary tests that have to be taken. There is an instrument inspection, sight reading, counting rhythms out loud, and what has to happen is a student has to play or count one of the points perfectly, no mistakes, in order to pass it off and have it marked off of their booklet. I keep track of where everybody is within this point system. The kids can jump around from point to point, from rank to rank. Once they've passed all of the points in a rank, they're done with that rank. And I use those point numbers to determine a couple of things. One, what the student's assignment's going to be for the upcoming week. What group I put the kids in for sectionals, so the kids are playing kind of the same points that are in groups with each other. And I also use that to determine what music that we're playing in band, depending on how far everybody is along with their ranks. And I'd like to show you what one of these rank booklets looks like. So every student is given one of these booklets. On the first page here, we have a page for assignments, and they can put the date and the assignment, and it'll take them through the course of the whole year. So I've got double-sided there. Then each one of these pages is a different rank. And you can see on rank 1, we've got 10 points here. Some of the points are more than one thing. So like if they got number 12 here, that'd be half a point. They have to get 14 then to get the full point. And then what a student's going to do is when I tell them, they will mark it off, saying that they have it. And you can see here it says to play the following exercises from Essential Elements, Book 1, with no mistakes. We've also got some scales on each one and some counting from Essential Elements. After rank 1, every rank has a point that says score 100% on, in this case, the rank 2 vocabulary test. Ask Mr. Combs for the test. There's a study guide on the back of this paper, or study this test with the Quizlet app. In Quizlet, search for Mr. Combs. So you've got your counting, your scales, and then the points that you have to play perfectly out of the book. And what I've done is I've gone through the Essential Elements book and I've chosen the different exercises that teach new things. Then on the back we've got the study guide, and these are all words that go along with the songs that we've been playing in that rank, because we learned about key signature and the different clefs, and we learned about tempo and the beat and the dynamic levels, and what a staff is, sharps, flats, and naturals, measures, bar lines. That's all rank 1 vocabulary, or rank 2 vocabulary. Go on to the next rank. We have scales again from memory. We have to count some stuff out loud. Got another vocabulary test, and we continue on. And rank 4 is the end of the Essential Elements Book 1. There is an altered rank 4 for clarinets, because this is about the point in the clarinet book where they start going above the break. So for rank 4 for clarinets, this is totally different, and it has some exercises that are introducing the notes above the break. So that's the only rank that's different for clarinets. There's also a totally different rank system for percussion, and I will talk about that in another video. But this goes for all of the other wind instruments, and it takes you clear up to rank 10. In rank 10, we're finally to the, we've been in the Essential Elements Essential Technique book, which is the 3rd book, for a couple of ranks now. There's some sight reading of an easy beginner level solo and ensemble piece, explaining how to clean your instrument, a full instrument inspection, and quite a few scales that you have to play from memory, a very large counting exercise, and then the rank 10 vocabulary test is actually 120 words. It's all of the words that they've done up to that point. So every student gets one of these booklets, and I want to show you, first I'm going to show you my Manhasset stand right here. I'm going to show you what the scale sheet looks like. So You'll notice on the rank sheets it said to play like scale 1, 2, and 3 from memory. This is what they are. We have a B flat scale, E flat, A flat, F, and D flat. Flip it over. We've got chromatic skills, starting with just a simple 1 octave scale. Scale number 7 here does the exact same scale with the different enharmonic spellings. Scales 8 and 9 are the same as each other, from F up to B flat, but just different enharmonic spellings. And then 10 and 11, pretty large chromatic scale that they have to play there. Whenever they ask for a vocabulary test, I've got a whole bunch of these in my filing cabinet so I can give them to them. We've got the word bank down at the bottom, and then it's just to fill in the blank. They can take it as many times as they need to, but only 1 time per period until they get it correct. Also, it said that there was a study guide on Quizlet. Here's my password. The 1812 Overture. 16. Okay. When you go to Quizlet, you can look up the different ranks, and you can do stuff like flashcards, a series of 8 tones in a specific order, tap it, major scale. So the kids can study it this way. A series of tones using all half steps, chromatic scale. Or if they would rather play a little game out of it, they can do that. They can go to matching. And this is actually timed, and they can compete against each other. Go back to the beginning. Let's see here. That'd be da capo. So they can do a little timed test like this. So some of my kids study their stuff that way. Some of them just look at it to study it. But those are what the vocab tests look like. I keep track of everybody's points on my computer and also on my iPad. I can do this on the iPad with an Apple Pencil. And what I have here is just a list of all of the kids. I'm going to choose just a random one here. My color coding is that's telling me what classroom to get the kids out of. So I've got the points up here. This is rank 1, the 10 points, and it lists what number it is in the book. And the 1 there that's in blue just means that they passed it. And this kid's passed quite a bit. But I can just glance at this and I can see what it is the kid needs to do next. They need to take the vocabulary 4 test, so I would assign that in my next lesson. And down across the bottom, I've got 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, 6-4. That's 6th grade quarter 1, 6th grade quarter 2, and so on. And then the S is for summer. And I can click on the tab that I want to go to. And then I can either type in these boxes notes from the lesson, their new assignments, what I want to cover, if it's over the summer, if they've paid or not, the date, how much they've practiced, and I can keep track of that, and I can look back at the end of 3 years and see every single lesson that they've had and the notes I've taken for that. And I can also write in by hand if I'm using my iPad with my Apple Pencil for that. And it tallies up the number of points they've gotten for the quarter. And this kid's actually got 21 points this quarter. And the number of points they have total. I keep a leaderboard that tells who's in the top 10. You can see if I switch to my master key here, there I've got the kids ranked, and it shows who has how many points. I'm just going to show you the top 10 because that's published on my board anyway. I'm not going to show you the rest of them. So I can keep track of that, and it also keeps track of seating for me, so I can tell who's in first chair, second chair, and so forth. Okay. Next, I'm just going to go through real quick and show you what the different points are from this Essential Elements book. We start off on rank 1 with the basics, starting with number 12 here. Also, we play Mary Had a Little Lamb. We learn half notes in the ranks. We learn to count whole notes in the ranks. So rank 1's also going to cover some dynamics. 6-note scale here because we go up to the 6th degree. We play Jingle Bells. Then at the end of rank 1 we're going to learn our 8th notes. We're going to count that one, and we're going to play this one, and we're going to play through this. And at the end of rank 1 we finally have to play this song, which uses 5 notes. and our eighth notes, and that'll get you to the end of rank 1. Now the cool thing is if a kid masters rank 1, then they can play any of the essential elements correlated songs in full band that are matched up with page 13 or less, and there's quite a few of them. So once I know that everybody in the band has passed that point, and I try to have them do that by Christmas, after 2 semesters, and they've got that mastered, and they can master those 6 notes and those rhythms, then they can play a lot of music. At that point, once the band has that mastered, we go on to rank 2. In rank 2, we're going to introduce ties, dots. So we got 3 count notes. We're going to play Camptown Races. They're going to start playing some chromatic scales at this point, so they're going to learn the full chromatic scale in 1 octave, so that these new notes won't be too hard for them. We're just going to start learning about key signature because we've got these altered notes here, and we add in key signature. Rank 2 is also going to go through Up on a Housetop, so we can learn first and second ending, and then we're going to get into some little trickier exercises. Clarinet's going to have to use quite a bit of the right hand for that. Gets us into rank 3. Little trickier songs here, like the Banana Boat. One of the vocab words is going to be da capo, al fine. We start learning some more chromatics inside of some of these scales or songs. We're going to learn slurs in rank 3 and rank 4. Some songs with slurs in them. Getting into some little trickier songs here in rank 3. Do the bottom bass boogie, where we start learning about accidentals and courtesy accidentals. And finally, at the end of rank 3, we're going to learn how to do these dotted quarters with eighth notes, and also the tied quarter to an eighth. We're going to learn how to count those, and that's going to take us to the end of rank 3. Okay, in rank 4, the clarinets break off and they start doing this stuff. While they're doing that stuff, the rest of the band's going to jump to the back of the book, and they're going to do some scale studies. They're going to do all of these, and we're going to be talking about slurring and about key signature. They're going to do all of these in a different key, and then they're going to do all of these over here, and that's going to get them through rank 4. Rank 4 completes book 1, and I like for everybody to be done with rank 4 by the end of their first year or shortly into their second year. Now kids are going to get past that, and there's going to be some kids that don't get quite that far. The ones that get past it are going to be the ones going into the honor band. Rank 5 is going to start some new concepts. We're going to learn about staccato. We are going to learn about tenuto and some of these new rhythms. We're also going to play in some interesting key signatures, working with these slurs and accidentals in rank 4. We're going to play, we're going to learn about the syncopated rhythms in rank 4. That's going to get us over to rank 5, where we're going to do this new key signature. And we're going to play in the new key signature there. Then we're going to move over to start learning 16th notes. The kids are going to master those. And I actually do some drill in class ahead of time before they reach this point to teach them 16th notes, so that by the time they get to here, they already know how to do it, so that it's not a problem for them. We do a chorale. We learn about fermatas in rank 6. It's taking us up to rank 7, where we're going to start learning some of these rhythms, and we're going to play several songs using those rhythms in different keys. And I'm going to play this rhythm also. And there's just a few songs in here in this rank where we start moving around on 16th notes and changing notes on these 16th notes. And by the time the kids get to this, they can pretty well sight read this, no problem, because they've mastered everything up to this point. Most of the time I give a kid that one right there, and if they've worked their way up to this, even if they're a second year player, they just buzz right through that. They'll get it their first or second time without hardly even looking at it. Then finally, I don't remember if this is the end of rank 7 or the beginning of rank 8, but it's around there. We're going to start learning this rhythm, and we'll play some songs that use that rhythm, like Oh Christmas Tree here. We're going to touch on cut time, which they would have already learned in full band up to at that point. And we're going to top it off by doing a little bit of 6/8 at the end of that rank. Chromatic exercise and another inharmonic exercise. We're going to start talking about chromatics and enharmonics at that point, which they've already been playing the scales from memory, so they should know that by now anyway. And that gets them all the way up to rank 8. Now, when they get to rank 8, they're going to go to this third book. And I will say that I didn't pick a whole lot from this book because there aren't a whole lot of new concepts that are introduced here. It's more just technique. So I talked to them about what whole and half steps are, and we learned chord scale construction, have them do some arpeggios. And the reason I picked this is because it goes up to some higher notes for, in this case, this is a trumpet book. Clarinets go super high when they do that. We learn a new rhythm here. And I also teach them in this rank about triplets, quarter note triplets and eighth note triplets, and we play a couple of songs that use those. We count out loud on this song, believe it or not, and they learn how to count that, and that takes them through all 10 ranks. At that point, I say that they've mastered the basics, and they can sight read all of this stuff pretty easily, which means that they can sight read up to about a grade 3. And at that point, we start moving on to more individualized lessons. They break free from the ranks and they go into private lessons with me, where they're going to work on district auditions, solo and ensemble. We're going to work out of the Rubank Intermediate and Advanced books at that point. And that pretty well gets us through the end of 3 years.